day, ladies and gentlemen. Garfield Waller here with another episode of Rock the Mic. This evening, I have a very interesting guest, and some of us should learn a lot from this evening's talk. Guys, when we look at people, they say you can't judge a book by its cover. And when we look at people, we can form some sudden or instantaneous impressions. Nobody knows what goes on behind the smile of someone. Nobody really knows the pain and the problems that somebody's dealing with. Sometimes just looking at the facial expression or the way the person carries themselves, we can't tell what's going on inside. And there are many of us walking around out there who are carrying a great burden. Many of us who are hurting. My guest this evening is one such person. But just by looking at this person or hearing this person, you could never tell. Ladies and gentlemen, give a Rock the Mic welcome to Kim Neal. Here she is.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm Barbara Garfield. How are you doing?
Not too bad. All right, Kim, let's
Yes.
tell our guests where you're from, who you are, basically. Go ahead.
All right. And first, why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because I was listening to your introduction and I'm like, that is so right. I'm laughing here. People don't know what's going on. They could never tell, right?
All right, yes.
All right.
Let's start at the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from?
All right. First, thanks for having me on the program and giving me this opportunity to help even one person out there. All right. As I say, I introduced me. I'm Kim Neal. I'm from Highgate, St. Mary. Grew up in Highgate, went to Highgate Basic School, Highgate Old Age School, went to St. Mary High School, left St. Mary High School in 1983.
Wait, hold on. Before you run through St. Mary High School, we
Yes.
understand that you accomplished a first at St. Mary High. What was that? Could you tell us, please?
All right. In 1982, a group of students decided that, hey, you want to have a Miss St. Mary High pageant. That was the first, and I entered, and I won.
And you won.
So I'm the first Miss St.
you're
Mary
the
High.
first Miss St. Mary High. By the way, which house were you in? I bet you it was Henry House.
I think some very bad. Oh gosh, embarrassed me now. Memory on Sunday. Goodness gracious me, house Henry.
Henry was purple. What house were you in?
So what a piece of embarrassment. That's not even the color.
All right. All
It could be Henry.
right. All right. Don't worry about that. You were the first. You were the first Miss St. Mary High. Okay. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
On leaving St. Mary High, what happened? Where did you go?
well, I went to Kingston, and I did quite a number of things. I worked in administration. I worked in banking. I worked in media, all sorts of things. But
Okay.
finally, I went into education, and I was teaching at Vaz Preparatory School.
Oh, you were at Vast Prep. Okay. Good.
Yes. I went to Micro Teachers College, and I was teaching at Vaz.
Okay. Mike Conan. Good. Okay. So we share a few things in common, right? Good.
Wow. Right.
All right. So
Good.
after Michael, you migrated, right?
Uh, no.
Okay.
I didn't migrate after Michael. After being in Kingston for a very long time,
Uh-huh.
I went to Montego Bay.
Okay.
And I was in Montego Bay for a very long time.
Okay.
So the migration thing is not really a migration per se. It has a lot to do with what's going on here.
All right. Okay. Yes, we are coming to that. A lot of people would look at you and listen to you and see that cheerful smile,
Yes.
bubbly, effervescent personality. But many don't know what's going on.
That's
So,
true.
Kim, would you take us through this step by step by step? Go ahead.
Boy. All right. I'm this kind of people who know me will tell that I'm this kind of happy-go-lucky person. Not in the negative sense of happy-go-lucky, but I don't allow a lot of things to bother me. I enjoy being happy. I got that from my mother. So, but I also love being healthy. So, when I met my husband, the good thing is that he's a vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
So I was almost eating like a vegetarian.
Almost eat like a vegetarian.
So
Okay.
I would have my chicken and my fish, but I would prepare vegetarian dishes for him. So
Uh-huh.
lots of the times to make it easier, I would
Uh-huh.
just eat what I prepare for him.
Okay.
And
Good. Hmm.
he's this kind of person who is very strict about his health. So we're not just talking about meatless dishes. We're also talking about not having white flour products
Uh-huh.
and not having sugar and that sort of thing because my family, everybody in my family is diabetic. So
Oh,
that was
okay.
so
Good.
good for me. So I said, oh, this was a leading of God. So we ate well and we exercised and I was fit and healthy and all that. But I said to myself at one point in my life, hey, I'm over 50. I don't really go to the doctor because I keep myself healthy and all of that. And I'm not taking anything for granted. So went to my doctor and I said,
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. So up to this point, you're a fitness freak, right?
no,
You're a
not a
head.
freak, not a
Hmm.
freak, but enjoyed it.
You enjoy. Oh, okay.
Enjoy being
And
fit.
you're look and you're looking after your health.
Yes, we would exercise when at sunset, when
Hmm.
it's cool and the sun is gone, but there's still a lot of light out.
Hmm.
We would go out and we would exercise, and sometimes we'd go by the beach and exercise, just enjoying it, not seeing it as a chore.
Okay. Hmm.
Right. So I said to myself, as I was saying a while ago, that I got to my doctor. I said, "Boy, I'm over 50 and I'm taking nothing for granted, and my family is badly diabetic, and I don't feel ill or anything,
Uh-huh.
and I eat what they say were to eat well. Because nowadays you can't eat well because everything is tainted.
Everything, right?
Everything is tainted. Vegetables are not good anymore. Good food is killing you now.
That is so
So
true.
yeah. So said to the doctor, just to be sure, looking on the outside as we realize you
Uh-huh.
look okay on the outside, but you don't know what's happening on the
You don't know what's
inside.
happening inside. Uh-huh.
So I say, I just want to check. I want a complete check. I want to check everything to see if everything is fine. And, you know, Garfield and those who are watching this program, I sincerely think that God sent me to do that.
To do that checkup.
Yes,
Okay. Hmm.
God sent me to check. And the doctor, we sat and we spoke a lot, and he got the background of everything, my whole life and everything. I said, okay, let's start the checking. So I was checking, man. No diabetes, no hypertension,
Hmm.
heart good,
The
this
checks for
good,
everything. Good.
that
Good.
good.
Check it.
Check,
Good.
check, 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 check. So because you pick it up quickly, I'm a talkative person. I love to chat and I love to go into details about stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I still went into details further about the heart, and I said, my father, my biological father, he had this heart problem and everything. And even though when we checked the heart on the monitor, the heart was perfect. The doctor said, "Woo, perfect."
Perfect. Wow.
But he said, "Let us check it physically. Let us get an image of it
Uh-huh.
just to see," because he was explaining to me some other things that may not show up now, but
Right.
perhaps in
Won't
the
show up.
image.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I
Right.
said, fine. I said, this is going good. This is what I really want because I want a really complete, deep, detailed thing.
So you were thinking at the time that when you leave the doctor's surgery, you're going to be cleared for another, say, 10, 15 years, right?
Not necessarily. I just wanted to check just in case something was
In
lurking
case something was lurking. Okay.
that I
Good.
wasn't aware of, because how illnesses are. Some of them just creep up on you over
Creep up
time.
on
They're
you.
there.
Right.
You're not
That's
aware
true.
of them.
Hmm.
That's why I said I wasn't taking anything for granted because I was feeling healthy. I was fit to the man. I could jog and do push and not push ups,
Oh my God. Hmm.
squats, over 100 squats,
Oh,
building up
what?
the thighs. You them
Better than
something,
me.
man. Jog and do your bends and stretches. And one time I was doing Thai bow and
oh,
them look at something there.
oh
Yes,
my
man.
gosh.
Put it for something. Go beach, man. In the evenings at sunset, we go beach and I swim up and thing and all for thing, man. For thing used to go on. Nice and things. So we decided to look at the heart. So I went and I did this X-ray.
Uh-huh.
Then the receptionist called me and said, "You need to come in. The doctor needs to see you because there is this big lump in." Actually, she even made a mistake. She said, "In your abdomen." I'm like, abdomen? When you're doing those X-rays, they put this thing
Yeah,
and
right.
block
The thing
off
is,
wherever they don't
right.
want the rays to go. These dangerous rays. So I said,
Abdomen. Huh?
abdomen, that couldn't be. Anyway, that was a Thursday.
Uh-huh.
So the Friday, I went in and the doctor said, yes, there's this huge mass in your chest. And he said, you of all persons, because you're so fit and all of that. And he said, we're going to do a CT scan to confirm. We did the CT scan
Uh-huh.
and it confirmed that there was this one. I said, Garfield, people out there, I said, the thing big enough. There's something big enough. And I was walking around with this big thing. Can you imagine? In my chest, thinking that I was fit,
Thinking you're
thinking that I was healthy.
thinking you're perfect. Uh-huh.
Probably not perfect, but
Mm-hmm.
and the CT scan showed it up. It was so huge. It almost filled up the entire superior lobe of my left lung.
Left lung. Okay.
Yeah, two lobes of the left lung, the bigger one, the superior lobe. And then I said, boy, you know, I can't tell anybody this to frighten them
Uh-huh.
when I'm not sure. So I didn't say it to anybody. Anyway, they said I had to do a lung biopsy.
Biopsy. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. So when we went to do the lung biopsy, no, my husband and I went to do the lung biopsy. Um, we were waiting for the results,
Wait, hold on.
and
Hold on. At that
mm,
point, what was your husband thinking? What's going through his mind?
the thing is, as I said, I didn't bother to tell anyone about it
Uh-huh.
because I didn't want to panic anyone unnecessarily.
Unnecessarily. Okay.
And it's a story so long, I can't even go in all the details. People, people at the place that I did the X-ray and the CT scan, I
Uh-huh.
was telling them that I didn't tell anybody, and they were saying, "Oh, you're so strong." They couldn't keep it. Tears came in the lady's eyes. How are you managing and that sort of thing? So eventually, when I had to do the CT,
The biopsy.
the lung biopsy,
Mm-hmm.
you can't go by yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you have to have someone with you.
Okay.
You're going to be it's like they set up the emergency area waiting because it's highly possible that you could have a lung collapse
Okay. Uh-huh.
and you would have
Right.
to be rushed off to emergency
Uh-huh.
surgery
Okay.
and all of that. So you need someone to be there with you.
Somebody has to be there.
So, right. So that was why I had to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, because of my attitude towards it, we
Mm-hmm.
weren't saying anything. We were just calm.
Oh,
So I
okay.
didn't know what was going through his mind yet.
All right. Mm-hmm. Continue.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So until we went now, we did the lung biopsy now, and we were waiting for the results. So the day that he was expecting me to get the result, um, he came home, and I didn't say anything to him. And then he said, "But you haven't said anything about your result." And I didn't say anything, but just by me not saying anything,
Yeah.
he knew that
He knew
that
something was
was the
wrong.
answer.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
I did
Mm-hmm.
not have to say, yes, it's cancer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He knew it. And as you would imagine, it was a very, very, very painful time.
Uh-huh.
Only people who have gone through this know what I'm talking
Know what
about.
you're talking about. Okay.
For
Because
someone to hear that.
I really can't imagine. I
Um,
really can't imagine.
yeah, because my husband is a very, very strong person, very strong here,
Mm.
strong person. And I guess we're similar. And when I looked at how it affected that gentleman that I looked at for years, spent so many years with that man, and know the fortitude of this person,
Uh-huh.
to show you how bad a cancer diagnosis is. When I saw
Unbelievable.
the effect that it had on this person, he when we both acknowledged that the reality is
Mm-hmm.
I have lung cancer, you know, and he just shook his head, and he was, something is killing somebody, but the person
Yes. Yep.
is,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't pretty, you would imagine. It was
Mm-hmm.
horrible. And then, no, after that, I said, no, I have to tell everyone. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, I was saying that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to tell them
You
before,
didn't,
just in
right?
case
You
it's
didn't
not
want to
that bad.
alarm anybody, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you imagine, Garfield? You wouldn't imagine what it
Wow.
was when I had to tell people, so I had to just prepare them for it, all sorts of ways, and I just like to help people out there that when you have these kinds of news to tell people, be very careful
Okay.
how you bring it across, you know, where,
Why do you say that? Be very careful.
because sometimes when my mother died, it was a relative that went with my brother to the hospital. My mother died of leukemia. And my brother stayed outside and she went up to the hospital room and they told her that mommy died. And she panicked and she just came down to my brother and said, Auntie Norma dead. My brother said he couldn't feel his legs. He just went down, but the lucky thing he was by this wall, so the wall caught him. These things are frightening, and you know what they do? They do something to the chemistry in your body and your
Yes, it
nerves,
affects the whole nervous
and you
system.
become weak. You
Yeah,
become weak.
some people react to it. Some people react to it differently. Right. I can
Some
agree
people
with that.
scream, some people run. So if someone is in a situation where they can hurt themselves, you gotta be careful. Hi, what's up, man? What going? Where you do, man? You're sitting down, and from just sitting down now, them start to think now, yeah, yeah.
Right. I can speak up from personal experience. If you tell me, "Hey, sit down, let's talk," I immediately imagine and expect the
Right,
worst.
right,
I
right.
immediately.
That's true.
So everybody,
So as I said, each person I had to say,
right.
after I kind of get an idea. If the person is not before me on the phone, I get an idea like how their situation is, my body not over fire. What I'm
Oh
saying,
my
girl?
gosh.
Anything can happen, and that sort of thing. When I get an assessment of the situation from listening on the phone, that the person is in a position now where I can tell them
We
frame
can
of
tell them.
mind and physical position too, where I can tell them. Then I say to them that I have some bad news. It's something about myself. And but don't panic. I have to let them know before that I am taking it easy.
Beforehand.
So
Okay.
you take it easy too, you know?
Okay.
And then I
Good.
tell them what it is, and people still what? Da, 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 da. And I have to be calming them down, and I'm the one who,
You're the one who with the problem, and you got to calm them. Right.
yeah,
That's
it's
true.
rough. It's a
Yes.
tough thing.
So let me ask you, where was that diagnosis? In Jamaica or here in the States?
Um, it was in the States.
In the States. All right. So they found out that on your left lung you had cancer. What happened after that? What was the follow up after that now?
All right, so I started seeing quite a number of doctors, and I made one thing clear. People, when you go to the doctor, I know that respect is due. This is a medical professional, and perhaps you are not a medical professional, and you have to listen very keenly, and you have to give regard and respect to them and where they're guiding you. But
All right.
always remember that this is about you.
It's about you. True.
Yes,
A lot of
always
us seem
remember.
a lot of us seem to forget that.
Seem to forget it. We give more
Too much respect to
regards
them.
to them than to ourselves. This is your health. This is you.
Yes.
This is your body. You know how you feel. You know how many times doctors and nurses tell women that they're not ready for the baby to be born and send them home, and the baby comes out in the car or at home, because you know your body. You know. So always understand yourself, and it is very important to ask
Ask
the
questions.
right questions. So I was meeting with quite a number of doctors, and my, my doctors would say to me that, wow, you know, you make our work so easy. The questions that you ask. And they tell me that one doctor said to me, you get right to the point. You don't beat around the bush. Things that we have to go so slowly to explain to other people. I just ask them the question straight up. I just ask them
Straight up.
everything straight, straight, straight. But one thing, I had a fight with them where they wanted me to do chemo. And I had that fight for a long time. I even had that fight with friends and family members because some people misunderstood and misinterpreted my reaction to the whole thing. Because I decided to opt out of the chemo, and they're like, "You just give
Wait,
up." So
wait, hold on. Did you start any chemo?
I did not at all. Excuse me, 1 minute, just 1 minute.
It's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Aye.
talking to Miss Kim Neal here, and Kim is telling us about her trials and tribulations with lung cancer. Yes,
Taking a
Kim.
little sip out of my mason jar.
That's all right. That's all right.
I like to
Yes.
take grape juice.
Grape juice. Okay.
because sometimes I don't eat so well. So
All right.
the grape juice kind of give me that energy,
All right. Mm-hmm.
keep me going.
So you
Um,
never started chemo.
I no, I told my doctors that I'm not going to do chemo. And as I was saying to you, relatives, friends, people were saying in the beginning before they understood what I was really coming, what from, where I was really coming from. They said that you just give up so, and me never know so you stay so, and you could just stay there and dead. Because they thought that I was committing suicide. They thought that I wanted to die. They thought that I was
Uh-huh.
depressed or I was rolling over and die literally. I was giving up. I said, no, 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 no. That's not it. It's a decision that I have taken from about my life. I
Uh-huh.
saw what my mother went through with chemo.
Uh-huh.
And I knew that the chemo killed mommy faster than the leukemia would have killed her.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Chemo is devastating.
Yeah, it weakens a lot of people. I've seen what
Chemo
people do. Mm-hmm.
works for some people, but if they were to tell you, some of them, what they go through while doing the chemo, it's not pretty on the outside as it appears.
All right.
It,
Wait. Let me ask you something, Kim.
mm,
How did your husband take this decision? The decision of yours, was it just your decision, or was it a decision arrived at by both of you?
it was mine, and he was getting some flack too because
Uh-huh.
some people were saying to him, "Oh, you just agree with her. You should let her do it," and that sort of thing. And he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Calm and cool and easy. This is her decision.
And he'll back you. Right?
Yes, whatever she
Okay.
says, I'll go with it." And
Okay.
as I said, no chemo. So my doctors and I would fight and fight and fight and fight. Everybody eventually accepted it.
Uh-huh.
No chemo, but this is what I did. They explained to me in details
Uh-huh.
about the size of it,
Uh-huh.
um, whether it's getting worse rapidly or slowly.
Slowly. Uh-huh.
And actually, what happened is that it was now touching on the pleura. The pleura is the case that the lung is in,
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
right? So
Blood membrane. Mm-hmm.
it was touching on the pleura. It touched two spots on the pleura. So I said to myself, because honestly, I was going to do nothing at all.
Uh-huh.
I was going to, yes, I was going to,
Just gonna
that is
leave
why
it.
they thought that I was just giving up. But I said
Oh,
to
okay.
people,
I see.
I'm not giving up. I am exercising faith in my God.
Mm-hmm.
My creator is the great physician. He's bigger than any doctor anywhere, as you know, because he made the doctors. He made them do the research to come up with the medication.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gives us life. And the power of God is such that you can't die before God allows you to die.
Talking to you, I realize you're a woman of great and unwavering faith. I realized that from the other day. Mm-hmm.
And this is something I want people to really get and understand. You cannot die if the creator, if you are in a meaningful relationship with the
Mm-hmm.
creator and he says that, my child, I'm not ready for you to go yet
It's
because
not
you
your
still have
time.
some
Mm-hmm.
work to do.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Look here. The cancer could have big till to hang out through yourself.
Oh
People
my
don't
God.
understand. People don't understand the power of God, Garfield. And people out
Yes, sir.
there, I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk to you. I want you to understand. The God that we serve is the Almighty.
That's
The
true. Mm-hmm.
Almighty. So
Tell your
that was
sister.
what I
Mm-hmm.
that was what I was doing with my situation. I was just working with the Lord. And I know
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some people laugh at your faith and say, "You're so ridiculous." God help those who help themselves. God help everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
True. Mm-hmm.
God not pick out a special group of people for help. God helps everybody. So stop telling God help those who help themselves. So you have to help yourself and do. And some people take it so extreme
Right.
that they
Mm-hmm.
do bad things too and say that they're helping themselves and God will help them when they do bad things. No, 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 no. I was leaving it up to God, but because it
Mm-hmm.
started touching the poorer,
Uh-huh.
I made the decision to do the surgery.
Okay.
They explained everything to me in detail
Uh-huh.
about the
So, what did
surgery.
that surgery involve? Explain to us. Mm-hmm.
All right. They explained to me that they were going to do, and they did it, a media stenoscopy first. They cut here. They
Mm-hmm.
cut right here, and they put the probe down in there to look if there were malignant tumors in I can't remember right now. Oh, the lymph system, the lymphatic system down there,
Yeah, the lymph
on the
nodes.
lymph nodes there in that area. And so that was one. And they made a little incision
Uh-huh.
to my left side to put like a hose in
Okay, right.
to that tube in to get the fluid out
Drain the
after
fluid
surgery,
out.
after
Okay,
the
right.
surgery,
Uh-huh.
to get the
Uh-huh.
fluid out of the lung. And
Okay.
then now the real surgery now is the thoracic cut that I got in the back,
Okay.
the thorax there.
Uh-huh.
Thoracotomy, they cut the back. It's a kind of curved cut.
Oh my
On the
gosh.
left side, it's a curved cut. Um, in the rib area, and they went in and they took out the entire lobe.
Wow.
Yes, of the left lung, the
Left
entire
lung.
lobe with the huge tumor in it.
In it. Okay.
Yeah, they took out the whole lobe. So now I have the right lung.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I do something, a video, I always notice how interesting it is that the screen show it the opposite way. The right lung and the screen is showing it on the left, right?
It flips it. Uh-huh.
It flips it, right. The right lung, I had the right lung left and the remaining lobe of the left
The
lung.
left lung. Uh-huh.
So, my dear sir and people, after I did that surgery in November
Uh-huh.
of 2018,
2018. Uh-huh.
yeah, by 2019, the end of May, I did a PET scan to see where things were with me.
Right. Okay, good.
Because remember now, I am not doing any radiation.
No
I'm not
radiation.
doing any chemo.
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing any immunotherapy. Nothing at all. I just take out the thing
No
gone.
medication, no drugs, no nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
I just take out the thing and go about my business.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, every time people would ask me, "You're not doing chemo, you're not doing this, you're sure? You're supposed to do chemo, man. Even do radiation then, no, man. Do this, no?" And everybody's suggesting and, bombarding with all sorts of information, which it like, if I were someone else, it would become overwhelming. But,
Uh-huh.
me just make things go on and me just go about my life, And I know that people care, to be honest, and I appreciate it. People care, and where Jamaicans always stay. No matter how we vex with each other, we quarrel each other, deep down inside, we love each other. And you could have just quarreled with somebody. If something happened to them, you're run, go help the person.
Right.
That's how we are. People don't understand our culture, but that's how we are. And so all this information, all this concern, why would you do that? Why you just want to die? Why you just want to give up? God will help you. If you help yourself, man, go and get some chemo or some radiation and God will help you. You can't just sit down and just pray alone. And I said, no, my relationship with God is different.
Different, okay. Mm-hmm.
And my faith in God is this. If he allows me to live, fine. If he doesn't, fine. This is the thing that people find strange with me. But I don't have any problem if God allows me to die. The Bible says the first death is asleep. Because he's going to wake you back up again.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For your eternal reward.
Okay.
If I go to sleep right now, it's not a problem to me. To be honest with you, my only concern and we are scared to say the word cancer, and we're scared to say the word death or dead. If I die right now, if I should be dead, if I die, it's not a problem to me. My concern is the pain and anguish that my loved ones are going to go through.
The others who are left behind, right?
Left behind. Okay. And that is why I beg people every day, please, come on the same page with me. Just accept it. It's hard. Please, just accept it, because I don't want to be unkind, but you are going to die one day too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
We all got to go one day.
Right. I'm not being unkind, but it's our reality. And
it's a fact of life. Mm-hmm.
Since I got my diagnosis, The number of persons that I've heard of, people who have died
Mm-hmm.
and gone and buried a long time, and I'm still here.
And you're still here. Yeah, you're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose.
And the
You're here for
creator is the one that has the last say.
last day.
You know? So now we're gone, man, to look at the state of everything. Can you believe it? That was the end of April. So I got the
April
result
in May.
in May, the beginning of May. Would you believe it? The whole of the right lung full up of cancer.
Oh my gosh. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here on Rock the Mic, we're talking to a wonderful lady. Very strong, very determined. Her name is Kim Neal, and Kim is telling us about her diagnosis with lung cancer. Please, you'll notice that sometimes she seems a bit out of breath. Out of breath.
Yeah.
This is because of the surgery she has gone through and what's happening to her body at the moment. But one thing I'm sure you all realize by this, that this is a strong woman. This is a strong woman, always laughing, always looking on the bright side. So
Yeah.
let's continue with that right lung now, Kim. Go ahead.
Yes, so the right lung. Actually, when I went to my oncologist, he gave me a printed report. So I told him that by this time, my oncologist get to know me very well, you know. I love details, you know.
First name basis. All right.
He laughs a lot when I do stuff, you know. He and I have developed a good, you know, caregiver patient
Yeah,
relationship
relationship.
and all of
Yeah.
that. So I said to him, I need to see it on the screen, but he couldn't show it to me on the screen at the time. The good thing is that, and that is why I always talk about my God and working with him and how he works things out. You don't have to really fret about anything. The good thing is that the lab at which I did the scan was on the same compound. I could look through his window. He was on the third floor. I look over there and see them. So I said, look here, although they normally don't do this, you forgot to do something for me. Now call him and tell him that I'm coming down there and they have to show me this thing on the screen. So
Oh my gosh.
he called and I went down and I patiently waited. I went down there and I explained why I was there. I said, my doctor just called, blah, blah, blah. They said, oh, yes, he called. When through all of that, you know, I need some assistance. I need for you to show me the thing. They said, okay, they're going to find a doctor who, and to see if the doctor will. The doctor was so kind, a nice lady named Dr. Love. She granted me the favor. I really appreciated it. And she took me inside and she brought it up on the screen. And when I looked at the screen, man, the right lung was filled with, still have it here, many malignant tumors
Tumors. All right.
in the entire right lung. And the left lung had the same thing. Hear me to myself now. Not even a little piece of lung, then could I spare.
They could have. My gosh, you find all that funny. I don't know how you do it. I honestly, I would have been on the floor bawling. I would have been in pieces.
Excuse me. When I, excuse me.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, this is what happens, you know. Even though I put out such a good image out there, there are a
There are
lot
times,
of
yeah.
drawbacks, you know.
Take your
Excuse me.
time, sister. Take your time, Kim.
You cough, you get tired, you're out of breath,
Okay.
you all sorts of things, all sorts of things. So, as I said, when I left the place, I had to laugh to myself, you know. I said, imagine it. Not even like a piece of lung they could have spared.
Get us fear. Oh God.
Everything, and until this day, you know, I have it, you know. And that was from 2019. I saw that in April there. All over. And I remember I went back to the doctor and I said, yes, I saw it and we're discussing it now. And I really got angry. I felt very angry, you know. And I said, sure.
Angry with who? Yourself, the doctor, or what?
I cannot honestly point out that there was a being, that whether human being or the supreme being, I was just angry at the situation that this thing, but just to the surgery. And you know what too? They always say, I don't know if it is true, but they always say when you have cancer, and once you cut it, it starts to spread. And the thing is, I was saying, I had this one thing, which was bad enough, and I took it out, and then it spread. Little ones all over, all over,
All
all
over.
over.
Okay.
You can't do it. You can't just go take out that again, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I remember that moment of anger because I don't go through a lot of negative emotions in you know about this cancer here. But that was a negative emotion at the time. I was angry. And I said, even though my doctor is not even a native speaker of the English language, you know, and me get up in the people and place and I say, chop. I'm gone Jamaican now, you know. I said, chop.
Oh my
I said,
God.
I hate this thing. I hate this thing. And that was my reaction, you know. My doctor was like, just calmly, you know, watching me. And he said, chop, I hate this thing. I hate this old nasty cancer.
Oh God.
I said, I hate this, I hate it, I hate it. You know, but he understood, you know,
You
and
understood it.
he allowed me my moment. But apart from that, I just try to be cheerful, you know.
What's the support like from your husband? And you told me you had a very close brother. What's the support like from your brother, for example?
Yeah. Two brothers.
Two brothers.
Two
Okay.
brothers. Two brothers. But um yes, I'm concerned for all my loved ones. But this brother in particular, he is brother, may I bust out your business in the public, you know.
I don't think he'll mind this time.
He is the last one, you know, in Jamaica we say the wash belly.
Wash belly, right?
Me look a wash belly, but he's a big man every time.
A
You
big
talk me
man,
look a
right?
boy like my baby. Yeah, big man, you know, but you know, we stay already. You know, and so he's in Japan.
Oh, okay.
That's Rodney. Rodney Miller, product of Highgate St. Mary.
All right.
He used to work at CVM TV, you know. And
Okay.
he's in Japan. And the thing is that Rod is very, very, very close to mommy. And you know, mommy passed that way. And everybody takes things differently. You know, and he really took it, you know, it's rough on him. And then he's so far away now. And for me, now, at the time when I was to tell him to call my brother and say, because he and I are very close, and say, the same thing happened to mommy. May I go through it? So he's going to have to go through this thing twice with his mother and now with me and the eldest of all the siblings, you know. Oh my gosh. You know, it's not easy, but all my family members support me very, very well.
Very well.
They're,
Okay, good.
yes, they're always there for me. Always there for me. My friends, relatives. I mean, I must tell you that people say the world mashed up and we're gone bad and so on and so forth, but people are good.
People are good.
Although you have to understand when I say that because the Bible tells us that none is good. Even Jesus, when they called him good, he said, "Don't call me good." But what I mean is that people have good intentions. We really love each other. We have our bad ways and we have our times. And sometimes we allow stressful situations to dictate our reaction to people and to things in life. But when it comes down to being a real human being, so many people will step forward and step up to the plate, you know, and show that love and that support. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, I have to say thanks. I have to say thanks. My past students from class 83, they're there with me. I mean, oh my gosh, people all over. People all over. Sometimes I laugh and I said, God must be saying that this little one is special. The number of prayers that go up to the Creator for me,
For you.
all walks of life. My relatives and my friends, they have prayer groups with people that don't even know me.
Don't even know you.
And they tell them about me and they pray for me. I mean, it's a lot. The love and support is a lot.
Listen, I commend your spirit. You are one. I don't know how you do it, because when I have a little headache, I am dying. I think it's the end of the world. But
Yeah.
on a bad day, on your lowest days, what is it
Mhm.
like physically? What is it like physically?
Oh, that part. I remember one time I was going through a bad thing, and I said to my husband, that was before I started talking about my bad days that you're asking me about. No,
Uh,
in the beginning, I didn't want anyone to feel so uncomfortable, and to feel so,
mm,
because they were already stressed out about the situation. And to tell them I'm going through all of this, I never used to in the beginning tell them. And one day I was going through a hard time. And I said to my husband, if my relative them could I ever see me I go through this, they would have cry instead of me. The bad day is really bad, honestly.
real bad.
Bad, bad, bad. Let me tell you, it started with when I just did the surgery.
Uh-huh.
No, boy, it's a lucky thing God has made me the way He has made me. Just did the surgery, my back was cut. No, this is
Uh-huh.
your rib area. No, you know that if you cough,
Yeah.
oh
Cough.
gosh, if you sneeze,
Oh yeah.
if you laugh,
And
I
you
tell you
laugh so
something.
much.
Oh my gosh, can you
Oh my
imagine?
god.
Laughter, which is supposed to bring something good, brought a lot of pain.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but what happened, unfortunately, after I did the surgery,
Hmm.
I had a very bad situation where I wasn't eating, and you see, I'm big already. Me know we're more on, me never reach 100 pound good.
Oh Lord.
And I wasn't eating. Just imagine, just did surgery,
Mhm.
little bit from morning, not eating. Now, this is the time you need good
You need good
nourishment.
nourishment, right?
Oh gosh. And they cut my back and they had to cut through the muscles and the nerves. Now, when you hear about nerves in a papa, remember me tell you, you don't want to feel them pain there.
Oh.
All of those nerves are cut. And you need proper rest and proper nourishment for nerves.
Hmm.
Sir, I tell you, I was throwing up and I wasn't eating. No, if you're not eating, what is there for you to throw
What's
up?
gonna come up, right?
Gosh. So the body was just retching and trying, and nothing was coming up. And every time the body go, the pain,
The pain hits you.
the coughing, the pain, the can't sneeze. God, I'll tell you something. God is God is amazing though to carry me through this.
To carry through that.
Suffer. I suffered physically so badly, and it reached a point where my husband had to rush me to the hospital one time. Because I said, "You're gonna die on me. You're gonna die. You're not eating. You're throwing up." And that time I couldn't do anything for myself,
Uh-huh.
because we do not know how much our upper body
The upper body is needed. Yeah.
depends. Let me tell you something. Is
It's
when
true.
round there so cut,
It's
we
true.
realize that them something we do we take for granted at
Yeah.
daytime. You
Uh-huh.
brush teeth and you comb here
Hmm.
and you put on your
Yep.
clothes just to sit up like this, because even right now,
Uh-huh.
just to sit up,
It's a sit up
sometimes
hurts.
I have to turn and yeah,
Uh-huh.
even just to stand, you're using up these
The
muscles
muscles, right?
up here in the thorax to hold you up, and you don't realize that that's what you're doing until you damage the muscles. And he rushed me back to the hospital, and I was in bad pain because my stomach had no food in it, and I was throwing up. It
Okay.
was hurting me. So I rushed to the emergency room, and then they put me on a stretcher, and they were
Hmm.
wheeling me in. And the lady that was wheeling me in, she said, "Is that sound coming from you?"
Oh my gosh. Hmm.
Me a wheel like some siren a pass out.
Yeah.
I had no
Yep.
control of it.
Mm.
It was horrible. It was horrible, 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 horrible. And they admitted me in the hospital for it was about 6 days or so after the surgery to
Uh-huh.
deal with what was happening. But before that, before they admitted me, I went back to the doctor twice, and they couldn't tell what it was. I was just having such pain, excruciating pain. They cut the back, but the nerves at the front, in the left breast area, those are the nerves that were affected. Those nerves are connected.
Okay.
So they couldn't understand why I was having pain there, real bad pain until they figured out, oh, it's the nerves. So the second time when I went and they figured it out, guess what now? The people, them not say them go and give me an injection and they cut me dear, man. Me dear
In the
sir,
cut.
me said, make this my dear, man. You know, they cut, you know?
No, I don't do
Yes.
needles. I don't. I
Let me
don't
tell
know.
you something. I am a person, you know. My husband often said, boy, look what happened to you. And you're a person so scared of pain. You're so scared of needles. And look how your life come to. Pure pain and needles. Just imagine. I don't, those of you who have had a lidocaine shot, you know what I'm talking about. When the first lidocaine shot I had was in my chest to do the lung biopsy. Let me tell you something. When
I
I
think
went,
I don't do needles. I.
my friend needles to, you know. So when they were doing the lung biopsy and the doctor was giving me jokes, man, I was laughing and carrying on, man. And he must say, you're brave, man. Doctor said, you're brave. Doctor said, some big men, muscle men come in here and
Yeah,
faint.
I will. I have no shame in my game. I will run out screaming like a little wuss.
And he said, you're brave, man. And me did a talk and the love, whoop a joke, you know. It's the first shot me get, me just shut up.
You know, should have. Wait, hold on, Kim. Kim, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Like, no, what's your diet like? What's your diet like?
Um, before the diagnosis and everything, my diet was fruits and vegetables and things with fiber, drinking a lot of this, that, that. No, after a while, it's such. And I was the one who was encouraging everybody, you know. I was the person who was encouraging everybody to eat well. I mean, I'll cook up some something and put up on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So, life wicked even. You know, so after a while, you know, we're Jamaicans, we just start kiss with it.
Yeah,
Start to eat
and
whatever me want to eat.
just eat
Because,
anything.
and then a lot, quite a number of persons, you know, who didn't know my lifestyle before, who believe say, I when you eat certain things, you get cancer, your diet never good and so. You can imagine how them a bombard me with recipes and eat this and you know put something on the internet say eat this to avoid cancer and eat this and that. Let me tell you something. We just say, look here, just eat what you want to eat.
You.
But to be honest, because I try to explain to people that if your diet before was not the so-called good diet and you get a cancer diagnosis and you change your diet, your body might say, wow, this is different, this is new, and your body might react positively to it. My body used to them something, I know them something, and the
I don't
cancer
know
attack me
something.
while. So if me drink up green juice and them something, my body gonna say what to her.
Wait, is your husband still a vegetarian?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, he
yeah.
has been
He
feeding
is
that.
a vegetarian. He is
Okay.
a serious strict man, and he's very disciplined.
Uh huh.
He's very disciplined. So in terms of the eating now, I'm not getting carried away still because my family is badly diabetic. Everybody have diabetes in my family.
Okay.
Me know I call on diabetes by myself. Me know I call on high blood pressure. Me know I call on high cholesterol. I don't want to be careless and stupid, you know. But I still eat stuff that I never used to eat one time. You
Okay.
know, now and again, me just sometimes I say, but I still try to be sensible because you do not want to dig a grave with your teeth.
Or your spoon, right?
You do not want you want to be wise and you don't want to bring on unnecessary suffering
Okay.
from the wrong diet or so. So I still have to be careful, but I balance it, you know.
Boy,
Yeah.
Kim, looking at you, nobody would be able to tell. Looking and hearing you, just hearing you speak, all
Yeah.
the jokes you give, the laughter. Trust me, nobody will be able to tell. The only listen, when they first told me about you, and I called you and everything, I called back the person and said, no, lie, you're telling that woman not sick. And they were like, yes. And until I had other people back up the story, I couldn't believe somebody who laughs this easily. But Kim, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I want us to save some of this interview for another time, a part two, all right?
Yeah, all
And
right, right.
listen, you have been very informative, very
Thank
entertaining,
you.
and
Yes.
we have learned a lot.
Yes.
And I'm sure everybody who watches this interview will be rooting for you, will be praying for you. We are
Appreciate
in
it.
your corner, and we're
Yeah.
hoping that everything will make a positive turn. But we're
Yeah.
going to leave some of this for part two. And I want to thank you for coming on Rock the Mic.
Yes.
You have no idea how grateful I am and appreciative that you could make it today, because we, in the past week, we have called off this interview several times because of the way you were
Yes.
feeling. You were really,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to see you're in better spirits today.
Yeah.
But on behalf of the Rock the Mic community, Kim,
Uh-huh.
thank you very much. And
Thank you for
we're going to
having
talk to you
me.
again another week or so
Yes.
again. All right, sweetheart?
All right. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
thanks a lot, Kim.
All right.
God
And
bless.